Hello, friends. Welcome to today's special episode. In today's episode, we will talk purely on the market and how the market has behaved in last 2 years. As you would have seen and heard from various reports and media outlets, that the market behavior, especially in the Greater Toronto area, has been very, very erratic. And it is like that because of a reason. The interest rates were historically very, very low. And from March 2nd, 2022, there was a successive increase in the interest rates. And in all, so far, 10 times interest rates were increased, the borrowing rates were increased by the Bank of Canada during these past 16 to 18 months. So we will see all of that, the data from horse's mouth, and try to understand and digest what is happening in the market, especially in terms of real estate and the impact of all of these interest rate changes. So let's jump right in. As you can see here in this graph, from Feb 22, the average market price in GTA was 1.3 million. And then you see successive drops in the average prices in the market. And if I show you this particular data, so this is the data where how the interest rates were changed during exactly this time frame. So if you see March 2nd, 2022, there was a first interest rate hike which happened. And then there were successive 8 hikes till January of 2023. So there were total in all 8 hikes, and there were changes as high as 100 basis points and 75 basis points, 50 basis points. And if we come back up to our average price trending in the Greater Toronto area, you see that in the initial 5 months there was successive drops in the market. There was a humongous drop in the month of May and month of June, where we saw as high as 100 basis point increase in the lending rates. And then finally in July 2022 and successively for almost 7 months, the market plateaued. And on January 25th or 23, there was 8th time interest rate was increased, which is we are talking about this particular point in time. And the market immediately, there was also a statement by the Bank of Canada that they will be holding on interest rates raises for some foreseeable time at this time in January 25th of 2023. And just by that statement, and since they were having almost 8 increases in last 10 months almost, and by that statement what happened, market immediately picked up in Feb 23, as you can see here. And then it was almost 5% increase, and then almost 1.7% increase in March, then almost 4% increase again in April, and then another increase it saw in May. So market climbed immediately and tried to recover. And then there was another interest rate increase of 25 basis points, which was done on 7th of June, and market again saturated. And then further it saturated. There was another increase on July 12th. And right now in the last month of August as well, you can see there was a drop of 3.2% almost in August. So the market reacted to those two changes on June 7th and July 12th of 25 basis points each. And it is at this particular level right now. If you see at a macro level this particular graph, we can see that the market, the current pricing in the market is almost at the level of the bottomed out level, which happened after all of those successive drops. So at this point in time, the market is it's a good market for move up buyers or for people who are trying to do first time home buying. And again, at the same time, with a caution that this is not a speculative time to do speculation. So it's, if you are buying something to sell it in a short order, ideally this is not the time. So if you are buying something for immediate gratification. So this is not the time. But if you are buying something and you have capacity to hold, then this is a good time to be in the market. Let's now look at the median prices and the affordability stack of Greater Toronto area and some of the principal municipalities in the Greater Toronto area. So these are all of the median prices for major towns here in the GTA. So in this graph, you can see that predominantly the municipalities in the Durham region, Oshawa, Ajax, Whitby are on the left side of the spectrum, and municipalities on the York region, so Markham, Vaughan, Richmond Hill, are on the right side of the spectrum. So that this tells us how the affordability stack is in the GTA. So Durham is the most affordable region and York is the most costliest region. And then you see Oakville, Milton, Burlington, Mississauga, pretty much every town you can see how they are organized. And another learning we get from this particular study of this graph is that a person is willing to pay twice as much for a property in Richmond Hill than they are willing to pay for the same property specs and style in Oshawa. As you can see, the median sold price in Oshawa is 8.1 and it's 16.7 in Richmond Hill. So that tells you the power of location and how the location dynamics works when you talk about real estate. I also want to introduce you to this particular graph. So this earlier we spoke about freehold properties completely, and this is purely the high-rise apartments category. So in this category, the towns of Oakville, Markham, and Central Toronto, Richmond Hill are most premium, and Brampton, East Toronto, Burlington, Mississauga are relatively more affordable for a consumer. And this is how all of these municipalities are stacked in terms of high-rise apartments. I hope this was helpful, and we will try to continue this every month with the update right from horse's mouth, what is happening with the market. And in the meantime, if you need any assistance in real estate, our team here at ELIXIR is available to give the very best advice for our clients. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.